And hello everyone, and welcome back to ESA Summer Online. We are raising money for Alzheimer Foundation. Links to donate can be found below the stream. We would also like to thank Kaspersky, Twitch, and Usonic for sponsoring this event. Now it's time for dlimes to run, Metal Gear Solid 2 VR missions. So, take it away.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it. And welcome everybody. My name is dlimes13 and this is Metal Gear Solid 2. But we're not going to be playing the main game. We're going to be doing some side missions called VR missions. VR missions are included in the Substance and HD versions of the game. Bunch of little side ops. You can do like sneaky missions, weapon missions, bomb disposal stuff. Just a neat little add-on to the later versions of this game. And there's a few different characters that you can run. We're going to be running Snake, dressed in the tuxedo. It offers a varying level of difficulty. Unlike the other characters, it's based on like more of a hard difficulty, whereas the other characters can be based on harder difficulties or easier difficulties. So time is going to begin when I select this first mission on sneaking, and then we'll get into it in 3, 2, 1, go.
Good luck.
So the first section is just sneaking missions. We have to just get through and get to the goal as fast as we can without being detected. If we're detected at any point, then we have to start the level completely over.
Yeah, for the first bunch of levels, it's just very straightforward. Get from A to B and as fast as you can without getting spotted.
Bad roll. Let's just get the continue out of the way now, so it happens.
Yeah, like I said early on, once you get to the heart of the higher up characters, the guard vision increases. It just increases in difficulty, and especially like their positions. The developers were very trolly with how they placed them. It's really precise, some of these strats, and if you compare them to like the IL strats, it's not going to be identical because of how risky the IL strats are compared to an RTA run.
Yeah, some of these strats that are performed in the ILs they're like frame perfect, they're very, very risky, high risk of getting spotted. In an RTA setting like this, you don't want to go for the absolute riskiest stuff. You want to be consistent, get through it fast. And some of the hitboxes can be janky. Like for this level, we would normally just go right to that guard and then just roll into him. But that's a very risky strat that I choose not to do in this run.
Yep. Some of you might notice that at the end and the start of levels, there's like Japanese text, and even when the guards are talking. For the VR mission segments, you can play on whatever region you want, English or Japanese. It makes no difference when it comes to the RTA run. As long as you're not playing on PAL 50, don't play on those versions. The only difference is an aesthetic thing. At the end of every level, you don't get like the voice acting from Otacon and Colonel and Snake or Raiden or any of the other characters on the Japanese versions, but on the English versions you do. So it's just an aesthetic thing, preference really.
Yeah, and the other reason why I like Japanese is circle and X are reversed, so circle is confirm, X is cancel basically, where on the US or PAL versions it's the other way around. Like Platonic said, it's more of a preference thing that I play on Japanese. And when you do a lot of ILs and a lot of attempts like I do, hearing those voice actors over and over and over again can really get annoying.
Yeah, especially like when you don't get the score you want and you already have the top 3 scores, and then you could hear sometimes Raiden or the other characters just yell out and just like blame you for not getting a good score. It gets really annoying.
Mm-hmm. So with Tuxedo Snake, one thing you're going to see a lot is he has the M9 for a lot of the levels. He's kind of James Bond-esque, if you will, so naturally he's going to have a gun like this. So it'll be very useful in just the regular sneaking missions. We'll need it in Eliminate All and levels like that, but It definitely makes the levels faster and a lot easier having a silenced weapon like this.
Yeah, and you'll notice that as the levels progress, the maps get larger generally, with exception to like level 9 as we just saw, which just happens to be a really small map. But even though it's a small map, there's a lot of cards. There's I think 3 or 4 in total, so it can be really like it can be really difficult with the timing and how precise you need to be.
So now we're on to the eliminate all levels. You can either kill the guards or you can just knock them out. Okay, I didn't get close enough to them, I guess. But since we have the M9 primarily, we're just going to knock them all out. That's better.
Yeah, this is the eliminate alls are a great example of the difference between the IL and the RTA strats. On the ILs, you would think just going non-lethal as fast as you can would be the best way, but the game actually prioritizes other things as well, like ammo preservation. The more bullets you save, the higher score you get. But in an RTA run, we don't care about any of that. This is just any percent. Get from the first level to the final level as fast as you can using the fastest strats, regardless of whatever score you get.
It's very important that I get either headshots, groin shots, or heart shots, which those are really hard to get, so I'm going to be primarily going for headshots. Otherwise, it takes longer for the guards to get knocked out, and that's obviously just a time waster.
And there are cases where... Oh, you go first.
I was going to say, another thing that you may see me do is I shoot a body shot into a guard and then roll into him. If you do that, then it instantly knocks them out. You know, there's no waiting period.
Yeah, pretty much. I was just going to mention that.
Great minds think alike. Yeah, Platonic Guy here is an excellent VR runner. He holds a lot of records for these individual levels. Really, really talented VR runner, for sure. Very knowledgeable about the game. So...
Thanks. So, another thing we should mention is you'll notice that you're trying as hard as possible to not get spotted. There was already one case earlier where you did. If you get spotted on certain VR levels, it's game over if discovered on site, which means if you get spotted, it's game over, you take and continue, you do the level again. But not all VR levels are like that. In the latter levels that you'll see, like some of the alternative missions, the game removes that, and it's not game over if discovered. So if they spot you, they'll just try to call an alert. The game continues on. And we're going to be using that. We're going to be exploiting that a bit later on. But we can't do this for these early levels.
Yeah, the sneaky levels are definitely a heavy reset point in a full character or even full game run, just because of that game over if discovered aspect. It can definitely be a time waster if you get spotted like right at the end of a level. So those little black squares in the floor, those actually, that was close. If you step on those black squares, then it reveals footprints, and then you have footprints everywhere, and then the enemy can notice. So that's why I rolled over those black squares. It's like a puddle of ink, almost.
Yeah, essentially with this game, and even in MGS1, your character can affect the environment around him. So like footprints, making noises, dropping books around, stuff like that. And that can distract guards. In some cases, we actually use that to our advantage. In other cases, it's a hindrance, and it can actually ruin the strat that you're trying to do. So you have to balance it out and figure out when you want it and when you need to be careful about it.
So 2 more of these, eliminate all levels to go, and then we'll be on to everybody's favorite mode, which is weapon mode. There are 87 total levels that we have to do. It seems like a lot, but it's really not. It goes pretty quick. And world record for this category is just shy of 56 minutes. It's a 55:59, so it's a fairly chill, fairly short run. It can be a little difficult at times in the weapon mode because of like disappearing targets, which you'll see, but for somebody who's just getting into VR and wants to do like a character, this isn't a bad place to start. And I missed the shot, so I'm just gonna restart that. There we go. The only problem with the later characters, like Tuxedo Snake, Pliskin, the ammo counts, or the ammo they give you is a little more strict. A lot of these levels, it just gives you an exact amount of ammo. You can't miss any shots, or you have to improvise, and there's really no ammo packs around for this character.
It's kind of nice that you have a restart button for these VR full game runs. Can you imagine if we had it for like the actual full game?
Or like a fake death pill like MGS3, yeah, that would be pretty nice.
Yeah.
So this is weapon mode. We're just going to be hitting a bunch of targets as fast as we can. The annoyance is they disappear, so you got to be on your toes, you got to know their cycles on when they disappear, and just hit them as fast as you can, basically. Good old-fashioned
it's basically
target
this game's exactly this game's target practice for all the weapons. Especially if they try to prioritize you hitting the center of the target sometimes. So like handgun, if you hit the center, you get 500 points. But if you hit the sides, I think it's 10 points. Again, for RTA runs, any percent, we don't care about that. Just hit the target and go.
Yeah, for most targets, the center's 500, the just outside the center is 50, and then the outermost is 10. And then if you string combos together like this, hit multiple targets in a short period of time, you get bonus points.
I forgot to mention, in some cases, we actually want the lower score for this RTA run, because when you get to the score screen at the end, if you beat the default top score, there's a delay until you can hit next stage. But if you get a worse score, there's no delay. You can just hit next stage almost immediately. So ideally, you don't want to get a good score for these RTA runs.
I believe the reason for that delay is on the Substance version of the game, they had the Konami clear codes you can enter to their website that no longer exists, and that's what that delay is served for. So that delay also exists in HD Collection, but that clear code site is dead now, so I believe that's why the delay still exists. Just kind of an oversight by Bluepoint.
Hey folks, do you think we could have time for a couple donations?
Yeah, go right ahead.
Alright, we've got a first $25 donation from Miss Chelsea saying, "Good luck on the run, Limes." And then we've also got another $10 donation from JMC saying, "Hi Limes and Platonic, good luck with the run from everyone in Lime City." So indeed, thank you so much for this donation. It's amazing. And yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you. Appreciate it, guys. So we're coming up to our final bit of handgun here. Just a lot of on-the-run targets. These red targets are actually negative points, so if you hit those, you lose 2,000 points. We don't really care in an RTA setting if we hit them or not. We're just looking to get the level done as fast as possible. And we still beat the default first place score by quite a bit, so low expectations from the developers, I guess. So now we're on to Assault Rifle.
So with the assault rifles in this game, since this was originally a PS2, I think it was an early PS2 game as well, they tried to take advantage of the pressure-sensitive controls that's on the DualShock 2 and also on the DualShock 3. For the assault rifles, the AK and the M4, what they want you to do is to lightly hold the square button so that you can lift up the gun without shooting, and then when you want to shoot, hold down the square button. It's kind of annoying outside of this specific setting with the assault rifles, we don't really use it in any of the other categories, just because it's unnecessary, it gets in the way, it's a bit finicky. It's only in this case that we need it, and Lime, since he's running on a PS3 right now, he's using a DualShock 3 just to take advantage of that. Otherwise, you would just be spraying bullets everywhere if you're reloading before you want to. You might even run out of ammo. Not in this case, because the game gives you so much. But maybe in the other levels, especially with like MGS1 Snake or something like that. So
Yeah.
ideally for these, you want to use those controllers.
Yeah, if anybody knows me, everybody knows I hate a DualShock 3, even though I'm using one right now, and it's really just for those first 3 assault rifle levels that I wanted it for. It's an okay controller, but I much prefer a DS4, and I usually use a DS4 when I run this game, just with an adapter, but decided to break out the DS3, because why not? So just one more assault rifle level, and then we'll be on to our next weapon.
I like the other ones. The one that's coming up, the C4 Claymore. Especially like level 1s and 2. It's like a puzzle for the C4 Claymore levels.
And if you haven't noticed already, there are a couple different colors for the targets. The orange ones blow up, so you do want to stay away from those, otherwise you'll get blown up with it. And then the green ones are just regular old targets you can get close to. And that's the assault rifle stuff. Yeah, so the C4 Claymore ones, you can use either C4 or Claymore. That gives you the option to use both. We'll switch back and forth depending on the level, using either or. Like for this level, one Claymore should take out 2 targets. Voila, just like that. Pretty simple, pretty basic. Level 2, you can use either one in an RTA setting. I'm just going to use the Claymore. I'm going to delay a little bit, and then I should get them all at once, and I did. In the IL, you would actually stand a little farther back and time it to where you blow them all up at once, but it doesn't blow you up. But that's pretty tricky, pretty precise. And then this level...
It's one of those cases where it's pixel perfect.
I'm going to try a restart there. This level you can get all at once if you do it right. There we go, just like that. That's a little tricky, but that does save quite a bit of time if you're able to pull that off.
Nicely done.
And then this level, we're actually going to use a mix of C4 and Claymores. Didn't get far enough away, but that's okay. Come on. See, this is the problem with disappearing targets. Wow. And that Claymore got me from the other side. Cool game. Yeah, this level is always a little bit of a struggle. And then level 5. Level 5 I just used C4. These 3 C4s for 12 targets. So this isn't too bad if I can get this correctly. So lay one here. Blow it up. And then we'll blow these 2 up basically at once. There we go. That is the C4 and Claymore levels. Now onto Grenade. Grenade, you can use either hand grenades, which are really, really bad in this game, or you can use the grenade launcher, which we're going to conveniently pick up right here. Makes life way easier.
Can't stress enough how bad the grenade, the actual hand grenade, is in MGS2. The blast radius is just so bad. Even in HTC, which increased the blast radius, it's still pretty garbage.
Nice little trick there to use one hand grenade, and then while it's waiting 60,000 years to blow up, we just take care of the other 2 targets, move on.
Since we're on hand grenades, originally when VR missions came out on Substance, hand grenades worked. They had a timer. As soon as you started cooking the grenade, the timer for that grenade would start, and you could like hold it in your hand and time when you wanted to blow it up. But on HDC, when this got ported by Bluepoint, for some reason it was changed that the timer for the grenade starts after you throw it. There's going to be one level later on where this actually makes a difference in the IL and somewhat in the full game. It's kind of weird why Bluepoint made that decision to change it. I don't know if it was an oversight or something.
Thought I got them all, but I guess not. Now this level coming up, level 5, this is a nightmare. You gotta stand on top here and oversee all these targets and then hit them while they move, disappear. Like, this is not a fun level.
This is one of the cases where I think like the developers just wanted to troll the player as much as possible. This level is just so frustrating to complete.
Okay, that wasn't bad. I'll take that all day long. Under 30 seconds, that's good.
That was really good. Nice work.
Thank you. So now we're on to probably my least favorite, which is the sniper rifle, PSG-1. I don't like the weapon, I don't like the targets, I don't like anything about this, so... I'm not a very good sniper. One thing that's going to come into play with these levels, towards levels 3 through 5, is the ammo count. That can run out really, really quick. These first couple levels really aren't that bad, but you get to level 3, you really got to watch your ammo.
Also, what you need to keep in mind is for the PSG-1 only, not for other weapons, if you stay too long in the weapon, Snake will start to like shift around. Like his hand starts to shake, and that can throw off your aim. So the way the game wants you to combat this is to use the Pentazemin, so that Snake can keep his hand steady. But the game also just gives you a limited amount of Pentazemin, so you need to balance it out and figure out how you need to time it out so that you can finish the level before you run out of all your Pentazemin.
Oh, okay, I got a cable nearby. I didn't know my controller wasn't charged. We'll fix that. Fix that on the fly.
Low battery strats.
That's why we keep our accessories close, just in case.
Good thing about the PS3 controller is that as soon as you see that, in my experience, it just lasts for so long, even when it tells you have low battery.
Okay, I got one end plugged in. I'll do this level, then plug in the other end. Yeah, this level is a nightmare. Limited ammo, tons of targets, and they're in multiple buildings doing multiple things. Very, very bad level. Probably my least favorite level in this entire run. I want to get that target now. Grab that. Boom, boom. Okay, good. Okay. to go. I don't want to go and get the other ammo pack, which is why I'm trying to take it easy. Got 4 bullets to work with. Where's the other one? Oh, it's down here. I didn't get that one? I thought I got that one. Alright. Not the best of levels, but I've had way, way worse, that's for sure.
Yeah, this level is just a nightmare for all of the characters.
Now we're on to the Stinger missiles, which these I find somewhat fun. The targets disappear as well, but they're not too bad. Alright, we are plugged in. We are plugged in and charging, so no controller issues here. Always keep your cords nearby. That is the lesson. That was a good level.
It's funny because the PSG-1 and Stinger are both like first-person guns they use in first person, but the Stinger is just so fun to use, whereas the PSG-1, I feel like it's the worst weapon in the entire game. Probably because like the Stinger, you don't actually have to aim; you can shoot, then like roughly aim. Whereas the PSG-1, you have to be kind of precise because it's a bullet compared to like an actual missile.
Yeah, the Stingers I love, and that's might be why the Metal Gear Ray fight in this game is my favorite fight probably in the series. It's just relaxing using this. And shoutouts to this killer music for Tuxedo Snake too. For each character, they have a different set of music playing. This is pretty cool music, if I do say so. Alright, so one more Stinger level left. Get the Mother Lode here. So towards the end of this level will be just like this weird chunk of targets that we're going to try to just like blow them all up at once. It's very precise because there's one exploding target in the middle of just a bunch of other regular targets, and it's hard to get it all at once. That's what I dub as like a quick kill. So one target here, a few more targets will appear, and then the mega one will appear. There it is. Nope, missed. Only got some of it. And if you don't get the quick kill, this is the problem. Okay, that wasn't too bad. Got it on one cycle around. So it wasn't too bad. So that's Stinger.
Yeah. That last one can be a bit tricky. Like sometimes you can shoot it and it just doesn't hit the orange target, it'll hit the blue ones. So you need extra shots just to get them all.
So the Nikita missile launcher, just going to be using a remote controlled missile to hit these targets. If you unequip the weapon early, then the missile will blow up. So we tend to do that for a lot of these levels, just to blow the targets up a little quicker than just going at them head on. The blast radius is somewhat forgiving for the Nikita on HD Collection, so which is nice. But if you blow up too early, then you got to redo the target. So you got to be careful. Yeah.
It's funny how much target practice they give you for the Nikita in VR, whereas in full game there's just one case.
You use it one time. That's it.
Yeah. At least in like MGS1 there are other cases where you can use the Nikita, but in MGS2 there's just one area you use it and nowhere else.
I mean, you could do Nikita rays, I guess, but why on earth?
sit there for hours trying to complete it.
At least in MGS1, you can Nikita Raven.
Yeah.
That's very useful on higher difficulties, but... So, level 4 here, the game wants us to go, like, around and into the building and stuff like that. We're gonna try to take a little bit of a shortcut. Timing's a little tight because we have to compete with a target and not hit this target. Alright, good. And now we just skip basically half the level. And voila! So yeah, that saves, roughly 15-20 seconds over its intended way. This one, there's no shortcut. This is a long level, you have to travel with a missile, and if you run out of gas, which is a little indicator in the top left, indicating the missile's gas gauge, or you hit something you're not supposed to, you're losing about a minute. So, very, very frustrating level on runs. Ooh, this might not be a good cycle. Okay. This is a little monk-ass. Oh! And that's what can happen. Like, I was slow getting there, and that threw off my cycle, so... Oh well. That's the danger of these levels.
Yeah, like I mentioned, I feel like the devs just want to troll you as much as possible, making these levels as unnecessarily frustrating as possible.
Okay, I'm just gonna take my time with this one. Okay. Alright, we're out.
Nice.
Could be worse. Could have screwed up twice, then we would have been in trouble. Alright, the last weapon is no weapon. Just gonna use our fists and our feet and our rolls and whiffing rolls.
Sorry.
Go ahead, yeah, you have something?
Yeah, I just wanted to ask, do we have time for a donation?
Yeah, absolutely, go right ahead.
All right, we've got $10 from Mac MacD saying, "You're incorrect. The PSG one owns. Good luck on the run, dude." And yeah, indeed, thank you so much for your donation. Reminder everyone that all of these donations will be going towards Alzheimerfonden, which is a Swedish national fundraising organization focusing on Alzheimer's disease and other dementia-related diseases. So it's really a great cause that you're all donating for, and I am amazed at seeing all the support that's been going on throughout the week. And we're almost at 21K because we're currently sitting at $20.6K dollars. So let's see how soon we can reach that 21.
Yeah. Shoutouts to Mac, who'll be running at ESA on Friday with a full game version of Metal Gear Solid 2. No VR missions, so definitely tune in to see that. He's a very good runner. Yeah, these disappearing targets when you don't have a weapon are even more frustrating. A lot of whiff kicks, a lot of whiff punches. It's just the nature of these levels. They're very, very difficult to execute.
It's just like the Solidus battle. Like, these levels were meant to be used with a sword, like Solidus, and then when you do Solidus with Snake, you don't have a blade. The game isn't programmed to give Snake a blade. So you have to fight Solidus with your fists, just like these targets. And it can be quite frustrating not having a blade when the game was originally designed for a blade in these areas.
Yeah, and if you want a taste of Solidus with Snake, play Snake Tails E External Gazer. Ironically enough, my favorite Snake Tail. Yeah, this is basically just the kitchen sink, every concept that you've quote-unquote learned up to this point. Nice. Got that lingering one to the left, that's hard to do. Oh, nice, I got that. I have not gotten that at all week, getting those targets over there like that.
So every time you see limes dropping down a ledge, you can't see him on the controller, but he's mashing the square button, and he's trying to do a frame perfect trick where you can cancel the animation of dropping down. Every time you can pull it off, it saves about 0.8 seconds, but it is a frame perfect trick. It's always worth going for, you might as well, but it's really difficult to pull off. And these levels, these are the variety levels. So there's 2 of them for Tuxedo Snake. The first one is, for some reason, you're defending like this bowl of noodles, and all the guards are just trying to get to that bowl of noodles for whatever reason. Your job is just to kill them all as fast as possible. In the case of Tuxedo Snake, they all line up in a line to make it as easy as possible for you. All you have to do is spam square, but it can get out of hand if you're not careful enough. And this variety level, this is supposed to teach you about like the knight mechanics in MGS2. So in full game MGS2, you don't really see the knight mechanics used that much, but there are very specific parts where it does work. Especially like when you get to use night vision goggles or the flashlight on the USP. This is really what the intended mechanic for, like the knight mechanics were meant for in this level, is just showcase that. And this is, I think, the first level that we've seen where an alert doesn't mean a game over. So you can see limes just abusing that. Just take the alert if it means you can go faster.
That's all the VR missions, so now we're on to the alternative missions, which are done in real game environments. First section is bomb disposal. And if you're familiar with the main game, we're just going to be using the coolant spray to disarm some bombs.
Yep, and for these alternative missions, with exception to hold up, we can just take alerts and go. So there you go, there's a case where taking alerts doesn't matter if it helps us. We might as well just for the RTA run. All the bomb disposal levels and all the elimination levels, we can take alerts and we'll pretty much, in some cases, we might go for lethal if it helps us. It doesn't really matter, we can do whatever you want as long as it's the fastest way to go through.
And for all these bombs for Tuxedo Snake, we're using sensor B, which means if we get close, if we get close to the bombs, then they'll blow up. So we have to keep our distance.
It's kind of weird that they didn't do that for full game. With the one bomb where you have to use sensor B. If you get close enough to it, it won't blow up in main game. But for these VR missions, they added that feature.
Alright, so we're in Arsenal gear for this one, as Snake, instead of Riding for once. Still have the annoying Tengus to deal with, but we got our trusty M9 since we're James Bond 2. Just knock them all out.
Nice distraction shot there where like you just shoot the wall next to the guard and just have them go there. It's kind of tricky with the M9 because it's not an actual bullet, it's just a trank dart. Like a SOCOM or something, it's a little bit easier to pull off if you have the suppressor on. The M9, it's kind of precise. It was nice they executed there.
So a little thing I did there at the beginning of the level, if you look on the radar, there's like a little gap between the enemy, like the red dot, and the actual field of vision cone. If you position yourself just right and get in between those two, they can't see you. It's a really weird quirk.
This reminds me of when you did that weird glitch where you get stuck in first-person view and you can move around.
I was just thinking of that. Like the camera angle changed for just a millisecond. If anybody saw that, I was scared it was about to happen again for a split second.
So for anyone who doesn't know, if you get out of if you're under like a box or something, the game forces you into first-person view. You can still use the coolant, but if you exit that, and equip the coolant at the same time, you get stuck in first-person view while you can still run around. It makes turning really difficult. Guard vision is completely broken. But I'm not sure, but I think you can't even interact with the doors and stuff, so you're pretty much stuck there.
Yeah, so you have to take like a restart or something.
Yeah.
Try to roll out, but oh well. So for the bomb disposal levels, we can do a restart, and it just restarts us in this room. We don't have to restart the entire level. We're going to do this a couple times to take advantage of that. Tank some alerts, and then we just restart the level to clear any alerts. And I'm going to restart here just for safety. Oops. Alright, everybody's favorite bomb here. It's called C4. See? C4. Nice little goofy thing they did. Oh, he almost shot me through the wall. I like the last couple practice attempts I did, I was on low health, and that guard shot me through the wall and killed me. That's just hashtag MGS2 things. And that's bomb disposal.
Nicely done.
Alright, 20 more levels to go. So elimination, it's very similar to eliminate all in sneaking, but we can tank alerts and be a little more reckless, if you will. Just take out the guards, either lethally or non-lethally, as fast as possible. And we'll be doing a mixture of it. A little bit of a potato aim there, but it's alright. I'm actually going to waste my ammo, that way I have an opportunity to not get first place. But since I killed enemies, then I don't get a 2,000 point no kill bonus. Okay, I didn't think I had got him, that's why I went back in. I'm just gonna kill this last guard. She's hiding over here. Yeah, the level 3s can be a little frustrating just because you have to use a mixture of the sniper rifle and then just a regular gun. So we're competing with one Cypher here, 2 guards up top. That was pretty clean. Let that guard spot me intentionally. That way it lures both guards up here. And that's pretty clean. So I'm not sure if it was mentioned earlier with the point system. Generally for most levels, it just calculates your score based on points. So it's about 120 points for every second you have left on the timer. It gives you points based on how many bullets or missiles you have left, and that varies depending on the weapon you have. And then 2 other points that you can earn are a sneaking bonus and a no-kill bonus depending on the level. Sneaking bonus can either be 500, 1,000, or 1,500 points depending if you got multiple alerts or got spotted multiple times. And the no-kill bonus, self-explanatory, don't kill anybody, you get 2,000 extra points. But all that is irrelevant for the speedrun unless you're doing individual levels. This should get them all. 1. Nope, it didn't get that one for whatever reason, so that's why we have 1 M9 bullet.
So this is an example of what I said where grenade mechanics differ on Substance and HGC. On Substance, there's a strat here that's quite simple where you just cook the grenades and then you just meet the guards halfway and just take them all out with a single stun. Whereas on HDC, you can't cook grenades, so that strat is just impossible to do for this run. We kind of had to figure out a different strat for this level.
Wonderful hitboxes. I love those back of the neck shots. That's alright though. We got our trusty grenade launcher to finish them off. So one thing in the later elimination levels, if you get hit with a guard with a shotgun, that's a one-hit kill. I'm going to take a restart. I can't take the alert that early. So you got to be wary of which guns are shotgun guards, and then try to stay away from them. Like this guard in here is a shotgun guy. And I got him in the neck, which that's fine. He'll go to sleep eventually.
Thankfully, we have the radar, so we can just see what the guard cycles are here in case you didn't meet the specific guard cycle that you wanted. Just to avoid those shotgun guards, because, like you said, one shot. Ooh.
That guard is a shotgun guard, and he nearly got me, so I forgot about him. Yeah. I think I just got lucky with a whiff instead by the guard. Alright, so hopefully this stun will knock out ideally 3 of the 4 remaining, but we'll see. Nope, didn't get that one. I got 2 of them, so M9 the other 2, not a big deal. Still pretty quick.
It's kind of funny seeing the combination of guards for these alternative missions. That type of guard is only available in full game as an assaulting unit, and only after a specific point in the game, I believe after the aim section.
Okay, that guard's going to come down, so I'm just going to blast him in the face with a grenade. And there we go. So this last level coming up is very, very frustrating, very easy to die on. You got a combination of stealth guards and shotgun guards. This is not a very friendly level. So I shoot a grenade here just to get an alert, just to kind of lure them over to my position instead of having them spread out. And then he saw me, so I have to go back up. Alright, I'm going to take a restart here since I was off on the cycle just a tad. That first shot is very tricky because you have to compete with the rail. See, this is what I mean. This is dubbed hell level. We're just going to wait a few seconds, then chuck the stun grenade. Hopefully this should get 4 guards in one shot. Yep. And I have 3 M9 shots to work with for this last guard, which should be enough unless I Ultra Potato. I got a heart shot, so that works.
Nicely done. I believe hold up is next, so 9-12.
Yeah, right. So we're coming up on the last section of 10 levels. It's hold up missions. We just have to hold up every guard, but this is under game over if discovered rules, just like sneaking. And you can't kill any guards. If you kill them for whatever reason, then it's an automatic game over as well. But again, we have our M9, so makes the level just a little bit easier. And they just disappear into thin air.
Do we have time for a donation?
Sure.
All right. We've got $20 from Nestor Flores saying, I donated because Times is a fellow Steeler fan. And well, it also goes to a good cause. And indeed, you're right. Thank you so much for your donation towards Alzheimer Funding. And to everyone else, we want to say, if you want to have some fun with your donations in terms of what you can do with them, you can type in the chat !bids to see which bids and incentives you can put your money towards. And even though we still have a few days left in the marathon, and there are a lot of bids you can still put your money towards. So definitely check them out because we have a lot reserved for you all. So once again, thank you for your donation and enjoy ESA.
Go Steelers. So this level is pretty tricky as far as timing. I didn't bump the guard, so I'll have to just take the longer way to do this, which is safer, but loses a few seconds. Ideally, you want to bump into that second guard so it lures that third guard towards you, and then you can hold him up as you're rounding the corner, but I just didn't bump into him.
So if you notice, Limes was rolling over those floors. We mentioned it earlier, but those floors, if you walk over them, the guards can hear it, and that might, in some cases, it's bad because they'll like turn around and see you and that's game over. In other cases, if they're too far away, it's just going to give you a bad guard cycle. It all depends. It's very case by case specific. Here as well, like roll over that so you can just get close to the guard, you don't make any noise, and then you can hold them up.
So this level can be a little tricky. We start here by hitting the exclamation point to daze this guard, bumping him so we can hold him up, hold up that guard, hold up this guard, and then we're luring 3 up here all at once. But we're going to spread out our hold-ups. Beautiful.
Nicely done.
just 4 more levels to go. So this one's a pretty short level. It's in pretty tight quarters. Just 4 guards to deal with here. Shoot the wall, that way he faces that way. Hold him up. And we'll just wait for this other guard to turn around, and then we'll get him. So level 8 coming up is in Jujannum Arsenal Gear again. This is probably the hardest level in Hold Up just because the guards are spread out. It's kind of an open area at the bottom. It's hard to get them contained all in one place to do this in a fast and efficient manner. We're going to try to bump into this guard to lure some other guards down here. Nope, didn't get it. So we'll have to manually knock. Yeah, bumping into guards in this game, it's somewhat precise. Okay. And then we're going to let these two just see us. Or notice us, rather. Get a 2-for-1 special here. And then I'm just going to lure him down just for safety. Because my cycle at the start of the level was just a little bit slow, and I just want to play it safe and not lose a bunch of time. Just going to come this way. We'll just get him from the other way. Okay, as long as I don't get spotted by the camera, then we're good. Alright, just 2 more levels to go. Yeah, this level can be tricky as well just because it's in the daytime, so their vision is a little bit better. As long as we follow a specific pattern, we should be fine. Alright, and now we're on to our last level. So the last level
Time
from
is
Hold Up.
approaching, by the way.
Yeah, at the end of this level, when I press X, it will be time, and I'll say that as well. So for Hold Up 10, you don't get a radar, so that's the big challenge, and then you get to deal with some stealth guards as well. Okay, that's 4. And this guard's a little tricky since I have to do a little distraction shot. Alright, and time is coming up here in a moment. And time. So that is all 87 levels. 100% completion. So pretty decent run. A few mistakes here and there, not too bad, but yeah. But once again, I just would like to thank ESA for having me for this run and my other run earlier in the week of MGS1. I really do appreciate it. If you like what you see, I do stream on Twitch on a regular basis, twitch.tv/dlimes13. I run a few Metal Gear games, including VR, full games, stuff like that. And if you want to learn any of these games, you want to hang out with the community, get involved, whatever, visit our website, metalgearspeedrunners.com. We have a Discord, we have a wiki with tons of information on how to run these games, or if you just want to hang out, like I said. So we'd love to have you regardless. Anything else you want to say, Platonic?
Pretty much you just summed up everything that I wanted to say. Just want to say it was a good run. 57 minutes for a marathon, that's pretty good.
Yeah, that's not bad at all. So I didn't know what the time was, but yeah, I think that's going to be it for me. Be sure to stick around for the rest of the marathon, and I will see you guys another time. Thanks for having me.
Indeed, thank you so much to you too. So up next, right after a short intermission, we'll be having Ratchet and Clank 2 going commando, and specifically the All Platinum Bolts category by Dil Wingo. So everyone, get hyped for that. So yeah, see you all after a short intermission. Bye!
Bye, guys.